Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
So now we're going to do a review of the Golden Ticket game, which is based on the 1972 Willy Wonka movie. So if you walked by this in a game store or Target, you might have not noticed it, but I would have noticed this if it was facing the other way. And it says, will you find it? So this basically takes place during the first act of the movie. When you analyze the acts of the movie, I think there's really only two acts. We can discuss that in a movie class. The first part is finding the tickets. The second part is going to the factory. But anyway, you might notice that Killer Bunnies is behind us in Istanbul. If you played Istanbul, you know that there's locations that you move to and you take actions. And if you played Killer Bunnies, you get carrots in the game, and you want as many carrots as you can because you don't know which carrot is going to be the one that wins. So if I have 7 carrots, Julie has 5 and her son has 10, and I have carrot A, and carrot A, it's found that whoever has carrot A wins, that person wins. So I'm only pointing that out because it's interesting that this game combined elements of Killer Bunnies and Istanbul. So what you're doing is you play one of the 5 children in the game. So you have Mike, Violet, and Augustus, and I'm playing Charlie.
I'm Veruca Salt.
And Julie was Veruca. That's why I'm wearing red.
I should have been in red.
Yeah, Julie's wearing pink for the Wonka Bars, because the object of the game is to get as many Wonka Bars as you can. And you'll be putting these together, which I'll explain during the review part. Right now I'm just going over, give you some context. And in one of these Wonka Bars, you're going to put a golden ticket in a 2-player game. So you'll slide it in here like this. Now the other side looks like chocolate. Okay.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
You'll slide it in here, and then you'll mix it up with all the other bars. Now it's possible, and you'll see that there's 5 of these. See, look how that's just so cool.
I know.
You'll see in the chart here how to set up the game based on the number of players. So for 2 players, we have 34 bars, and you hide a ticket in one of them. 3 players, you use 41, but have 2 tickets, which means you can have 2 people win in a 3-player game, because one person could find a golden ticket, and so could another person. It's possible, and it says this in the rules, that a person could have both golden tickets, and that person could decide who to share the win with and give a golden ticket to someone else. So in 4 players, you got 3 golden tickets, and 5 players, you have 4 golden tickets. So you could have a 4-way tie in a 5-player game. Now it does give you suggestions, and
You could play more.
Modify that. So that's the first thing. Is you'll see I have all of these here, and then this is how much 34. This is what 34 looks like right here. And then here's the one with the ticket in it. You would mix them all up. So it's really cool. It looks just like the movie. All the bars.
They do.
And that's part of the fun. If you watch the How to Play and Playthrough, you'll find out which one of us has the golden ticket.
I'm not saying.
And we're not saying.
Nope.
But it's almost a movie finish. The person going through the bars, it's the last bar that they had.
Yep.
And it's revealed just like. Anyways, you set up the board like this. It's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're playing the A side. That's what they recommend. So you'll see here there's an A side right there. It says on the bottom. But you could also flip it over and play an alternative side for variety. And you can do a combination. You could have a combination of A and B. So the children start in the classroom, and Wonka starts here in the factory. And why does he have a die? Because if you end your turn with Wonka in the same space as him, you got to end your turn there, not take one action there, because you're going to get 2 actions a turn. So if you end your turn there, he'll give you a Wonka bar. So the way the game plays is that you have cards, so it's a card management game. So the first player will have 6 cards, start out with 6, and discard down to 4. Okay, so I say I discard these 2. Everybody else will start out with 6 cards and discard down to 5. They'll discard 1. So the first player has less cards, but they kind of have an advantage because you get to go first. And then each character gets their allowance. So Charlie, being in the situation he's in, he only has $3. But of course,
Veruca, because she's
she
a
starts,
little bit higher up, she gets $8.
yeah, her family has more money, as you know.
Yeah.
And each child has an ability. So it says here, when you draw cards, you may draw an extra. So your hand refill says 4 here. So one of the actions you can do on your turn is to redraw your hand. So if Julie had 2 cards left, she can draw up to 4. She'll draw 2 more, but because of her ability, she'll get an additional one. So she'll actually will have 5 cards then when she takes that ability. Whereas Charlie, when he sweeps cards, and I'll explain what that is in a moment, he'll get to move 1 space. And don't be like me and not read the index here, because I thought that Charlie, when he takes that move, he doesn't get to use the space. So at first, when we did the how to play it and playthrough, we were playing it wrong. When Charlie does moves 1 space, when he lands on a new space, he can take that effect. So what does that mean? When you move to a space, you can do the effect here if you want. Sometimes you're allowed to move twice, but when you move through a space, you don't do the effect. It's only the space that you land on, because there'll be cards that will allow you to move 2 spaces. So let's see the actions you're going to be doing in the game. So you get 2 actions. You can pick you can pick among these 3 in the white boxes here. You can even do them twice. So you can play a card and do what's on the card. You can discard a card to move, and then you can refill your hand, which I explained. And then when you're done with your turn, you check to see if you're on the same space as Willy Wonka. If you are, you get a bar, and then you roll the die to see where Willy Wonka goes. So if I do end up here, I get a bar, and Willy would go to 6. He's never going to go on 7, 8, or 9. Now, when you're playing cards, this is really interesting about the game here. You'll see that there's different types of cards with symbols. There are sweet cards, rowdy cards, which kind of a little bit of take that. For instance, you can make a player return cards, or you can take a card from their played area and add it to your hand, and then you have mystery cards. So it's important to notice those symbols, because if I play, for instance, these 3 cards over the course of the game, you see how they have the sweet candy symbol. So when you play a card, you keep track underneath your player board. And if you move to a location, it says here, sweep 3 sweet cards and gain 2 Wonka bars. So I played them, I land there, I use the effect, I discard it, and I get 2 Wonka bars. However, if you discard a card to move, that's discarding. Okay, I move to a space, I'm not placing it before my player mat, so I won't be able to sweep that card. And so that's pretty much how it goes. It's a hand management. You're going to want to take time to draw cards. Some spaces will help you draw cards, like here. If you land here, you get 3 cards, and of those 3 you draw, you discard 2 and keep 1. Here you can spend $5 to get 3 cards. Here you can sweep 2 mystery cards to get 2 Wonka bars. Here, spend $3 to get 2 Wonka bars. Here's a really good one. Spend $14. Veruca Salt will do that one for sure. You get 6 Wonka bars. If you land here, you get $4. Here, if you're in the classroom, you get up to your allowance. So if I have $1 on my mat, I get 2 more, because that's my allowance is 3. Here, if you play rowdy cards, it says I can sweep 1, 2, 3, or 4 and get the appropriate number of Wonka bars. So if I sweep 3 rowdy cards, I'll get 3 Wonka bars. So that is, and you just keep on going around until all 34 bars are obtained. The game ends immediately, and then you start cracking open your candy to see who has the golden ticket in a 2-player game. Again, if it's a 3-player game, 2 could have the ticket. If it's a 4-player game, 3 could have the ticket. And if it's a 5-player game, 4 players could have the ticket. So really easy to teach and play.
Yes.
Although the game is for ages 10 and up. That's about right, because there's reading involved. You do have to be able to read the cards, but it's not very hard text. And with an adult present, you can help out. And it does take 20 to 30 minutes. I think we got done in 20 minutes.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it took longer to explain it.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at our review.
All right, so you guys know I go first, and I'll give you my plus, minuses, and neutrals, and then David will do his, and then we will see how we rated it on the BGG scale.
All right, here we go.
All right. I totally felt like I was in the movie. I really got excited going around getting the bars. I didn't feel like Veruca Salt. I just want you to know. I wasn't bratty.
You didn't want it now?
I didn't want it now. I was very happy taking my time.
You promised.
I did it. I didn't hire anybody else to do it or have my dad do that.
I'll never speak to you again.
I think the art is done really well. It really depicts the movie scenes, and so you do feel like you're at the candy shop or you're, like in the classroom or whatever. It's neat.
It makes you wonder, is there a side where they're at the computer? No, it's the same image.
Same
Remember
image.
where they asked the computer to help figure
And then you
out?
said, no, I won't do that because it's cheating. Okay, let's see what else I did.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I think some of the components were problematic, and by that, I mean just the money really itself. The
I'll
colors
show
are
it.
exactly the same, and it's hard to tell the difference. And
So
if
here's
they
a
would have
3.
just done them in different colors, even would have been much better.
Here's a 1. So unless you're paying careful, so that is a misstep.
You have
That's
to
too
really
bad.
look hard, but.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think everything else is nice. I know that they probably couldn't put faces on. Well, Willie has his face, but like the kids don't have faces. They don't have eyes or noses. And
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
I think-
like that
and I-
either. That
and
was
I-
kind of. Eh.
Well, it's interesting that you noticed it. I hadn't noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because they only got the rights
Oh,
to Gene Wilder.
okay. Yeah,
Okay,
that
they,
kind
and
of
they didn't have the rights to the children. To
creeped
use
me
their
out a
faces.
little bit. So that's why I said they were problematic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me not like the game. I just wish they could have had their faces. That's
You know
all.
what? I didn't notice that he had a face, and
Mm-hmm.
I wondered that on the back of the box. He's on the back of the box. Okay, but the children aren't. So you're right. They didn't get the rights to use the children's likeness. It's called likeness rights. So they, obviously
okay.
they couldn't get them, or they didn't want to pay for them.
Oh, and then the last thing, which I did think was kind of a negative, is that putting the chocolate into the packages was not fun. It really took a long time for us to do that, and it kind of made me not want to play the game afterwards because I was so tired.
Okay, so it takes two people. It should 2 people to do this. It took us about 20 minutes to do this. So what happens is this comes like this. Okay, it comes flat. When you open up the game, it comes flat like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you got to use the scoring, and then fold it.
And we finally got a system down like halfway through where I would just
And
tuck in
then
the little end.
You put, and you want them all going the same way. Trust me, you want that for opening purposes, because it would take longer if they're not. But you put them all in. So this takes us about as long as it takes to play the game.
I think you
Now,
did that one backwards.
Well,
Anyway.
let's see. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. But yeah, I agree with you. That's kind of a bummer. Once you have it done, though, thematically, it's cool.
Oh, it's great once
Yeah.
it's done. It's just getting it done. That was my
Yeah.
negative, and it's not a super bad negative. It was just me. We did this when I was tired too, which probably didn't help me. It's probably why I did it as a negative, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah. At first, you're kind of like, really?
Yeah.
It's like putting miniatures together for games. Like, really?
I don't put those
you didn't know you
together.
had to do that, or putting stickers on things.
I don't do that either.
That bothers me too. But hey, it was worth it.
It was worth it, definitely.
But at first, you're like, I don't want to do this.
It's like, doggone it. I just
Okay.
want to play.
All right, so here's mine.
Okay.
So it's an immersive adaptation of first act of movie. It's, you don't go in the factory. Now,
No.
I would like to see a sequel to this, because you
That
could
would
do
be
it.
cool.
You could do a deduction game where you have to figure out which kid. You're betting on which kid's going to get the ticket. So you could easily make a game about this.
Sure.
Where you're manipulating the kids through the factory and you try to knock them off.
Yeah.
And so if I'm betting on Charlie getting the ticket, then I'm gonna, kind of like a race game,
Oh, yeah.
and where you bet on them.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So if Buffalo Games is listening, well, maybe because you have the rights, obviously. I don't know if you have the rights to do a second game, but that would be how you could do the second
I
game.
think that would be awesome.
So I think it's outstanding production values. However, there is the annoying assembly and card stock. So I'm kind of skipping ahead. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
So you feel like you're in the movie. I mean, it's just great art. Okay, even the cards.
That's what I said.
And the card. This is only a $20 game.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we didn't even pay $20 for it. We got it on sale. I would have paid $20 for this on sale.
Heck yeah. Not on sale, you mean?
Yeah, not on sale.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm saying, say it was a $30 price point. I would have paid $20 for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But, you know, the nice cardboard, the tickets, and they just go, that's just
It's
so
just
cool.
so pretty.
And they're nice quality. But what's not nice, I don't normally sleeve games. So here we were tired after putting all these together, right? Again, these are nice plastic chocolate in here. I mean, it looks like Wonka
Telling you,
Bar.
it makes you want to have chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm trying to get it in the light. There you go. It's so cool.
It is.
But the cardstock, whatever they use for their cardstock, it sticks together. I don't know if it's laminated. I mean, it's going to hold up, but it's hard to shuffle. So when you're trying to grab cards, they stick together.
Yeah.
So we use penny sleeves, and they've done this with another game too. They had this problem.
Oh.
So normally we don't sleeve it, but we're sleeving it because it's too hard to shuffle and to handle. Now, if anybody has this game, you'll see it's not easy to do this unless you have sleeves on it. And we're not sleeving it because we're like, oh, we want to.
No.
You know, we usually don't.
And
sleeve
that took
games.
time too to do that.
Yeah.
We did it like right in the middle of the game, I think, too, because we were both getting frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to grab the cards. So David went and got these little
The
pockets,
penny sleeves.
penny sleeves.
Yeah, and because it was so annoying playing the game
Yep.
without it being sleeveless, we need to sleeve this. So, because also too, we knew we were going to play it on camera, and it would have been
It would
annoying.
have been a mess.
All right, so it's a pleasurable to read rule book. I don't know who wrote the rule book,
Yay.
but this is well done. And if I used my dissertation, I don't think I've shown this on camera in a while. But here is my performance list. I'm pretty sure it would score in the pleasurable area.
Nice.
So for those of you who have not checked out my research, there are videos on it, and you can go to my website to download the performance list for free. But these are the charts here, and I laminated this one, but you can see all these things that you would use to evaluate a rule book. They did a really good job. I'm impressed. I learned it so quick. It was that
Yeah, it didn't take you any time at all.
I only had some questions about if you land or move through a space, are you able to use the effect on the space? And so I asked that question, and it was verified. What that means is that, remember, when you end your turn, when you land on a space, when you end your turn, after you use an action, you can do the effect. Since there's some cards that allow you to move too, there's a contradiction in the rule book about moving and landing. If I move here, do I get to use the effect before I use my second movement and then I land here? I know I can use the effect when I land here, but am I able to use the effect as I'm moving through it? And according to the BGG, when I asked a question, somebody said, no, you don't. You only get to use the effect when you land on it. Okay, so back to the rule. So yeah, you don't normally talk about great rule books. This is a really good one. And then thematic winner determination. So this is controversial. Some people hate killer bunnies for that reason, that you get all these carrots. I could have 15 carrots.
Oh.
You have 3 carrots. And if you have carrot D, H, and J, if H is determined to be the winner, you win.
Oh,
You only had 3 carrots, and I had 15. I don't win.
Oh, that would be frustrating. Yeah.
So some people don't like that about killer bunnies. In fact, that's why it gets a lot of low reviews. So some people might not like this game for the simple fact that Julie she did have more bars than me as Veruca. But I had less, and I was able to win.
You just told them that.
That's okay. If you're listening to the review, that's fine. But it's thematic. That's how the movie is. So I'm okay with it. But that's why I say it's neutral. I know some people have a problem with it.
I had no problem with it.
I guess you could make it a game where whoever gets the most chocolate bars wins, and then if you have the golden ticket, maybe that's +2 or +3 bars.
You get 2 Hershey Kisses.
Well, the point is you could make it whoever gets the most bars and the golden ticket gives you more bars. You could modify the rules.
Sure.
All right, so let's see how we rated it on BGG scale.
Oh, we both said 8.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
When I first played this, I wanted to play it again the next day. And the only thing that prevents it from going to a 9 or 10 for me is the fact that only one person is going to get the golden ticket.
Well, unless we modify and put
Right.
2 in there.
Right.
You know?
And
Or put 3 in and see who gets some more tickets that way.
I mean, I love this movie. I grew up with this movie, and
Yep.
you'll see here
It's a
that
great movie.
I have the 4K here. 4K isn't interesting, by the way, if you're into movies. It's a good transfer. We had the Blu-ray, we had the DVD, we had the VHS. We bought this 4 times.
Yes.
So that's how much we love this movie. So why did you rate it an 8?
I just really enjoyed it. I loved
But why not a 9 or a 10?
Well, I think the reason why I didn't is, I don't know.
Maybe you just haven't played it enough yet?
Maybe I haven't played it enough yet. I know the coins kind of threw me a little bit, but I like handling the chocolate. I'm telling you, maybe I had to go have a little Hershey Kiss after this because I love chocolate. I think I'm bothered by the fact that they don't have faces. They don't have faces. It kind of freaks me out.
Here, I'll show you here. You know what it almost looks like?
It's just
like a sci-fi episode where their
Yeah.
faces. You know what it is? Star Trek. Naked Time. You remember when Charlie X makes her face go away?
No.
That's kind of reminds me of that.
I don't know anything about that, but all I know is that that kind of disturbs me a little bit. It doesn't mean I don't want to play the game. It's just, I don't know, that kind of meh. But other than that, it probably will go up to a 9 or a 10 the more I play it.
You know what we could do
It's
is that
easy to play. It's so easy to play and so easy to learn that I could definitely see it going up to a 9 or 10 in the very near future.
yeah, I'm the same way. Right now it's an 8.
Yeah. Well, we've only
And-
played it twice too.
Yeah.
So
I think if we keep on playing this, it will be a 9 or a 10, no problem.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about suggesting it is, if you are a fan of the movie, this game, you should get this game.
oh, definitely.
And children can handle this as long as they can read the cards. If they can understand reading
Easy peasy.
without, in other words, if you have a child where you have to read every card to them, it's going to be
Tiring.
yeah. Unless you want to pair up. Now you can have someone pair up with a child who can't read, and that'd be fine. But if you're expecting a child to be independent, who's an emerging reader, no,
They need
don't,
to be
don't bother.
10.
Yeah. Well, no, they just need to be able to read.
Well, you'd be able to read. Yeah, that's true.
Because you have some children that are 8, 9 that can play this game because
True.
they're independent readers.
True.
You know, so over time, yeah, this might go to a 9 or 10.
I think it will. I really want to play this with David Jr. I think he would really like it.
And what we could do is I can get their faces, print them out, and then we can put them on here to help you deal with that. No, it wouldn't be that hard. I can shrink them down.
No,
in
because
Photoshop.
I try just to ignore the picture of. I just try and look like at her little cute dress and her little shoes, and try and ignore the face altogether on everything. But no, I can definitely see that. Probably the next second or third time I play or third or fourth time, it's going to go up to a 9 or a 10, easy.
Yeah, we'll see over time.
Yep.
And that's why we usually hold off on giving that rating, because if it keeps on hitting the table more and more, and we already know we want to show this to other people. That's why it's an 8. That's why it's a suggested, because it's just, hey, you should get this. When it gets 9 and 10, that means that we've been playing this over time, a long time, over years.
I think our very dear family friends coming over again this coming week with her kids again, I wouldn't mind even bringing this out and showing them, because
Yeah, I don't know how much a fan of the movie.
that's true. I don't know. We'd have to ask him.
I know I'm not a fan of the Tim Burton version.
I've never seen it, and I won't watch it.
I shut it off after 20 minutes.
That creeps me out.
That's how much I did not like that version.
I never saw it, but just even the little clips I saw creeps me out, so I won't see it.
Yeah, I know it's more faithful to the book. It doesn't matter. It's just not.
I never read the book. I don't know.
Well, the book's problematic.
Oh.
It has issues because of the time it was written, and the guy who wrote it, Dahl, he's British, and has that British Empire mentality where the Oompa Loompas are, I believe, pygmies, and it's kind of a little bit of a racist.
Ooh, I don't want to hear that.
So the original edition had that issue. The
No, thank
revised later editions not to have that issue.
Okay, well, no,
Anyway,
thank you.
but that's because
I'll stick to the orange.
he was a World War II vet. There's a reason he was of that mentality of people of other cultures could be dominated. So, hey,
I don't like that.
that's what happens when you have a PhD in language reading and culture, and you had classes in children's literature. All right, so thanks for watching.
Thank you so much, you guys, and we really do appreciate all of you who have subscribed and liked our videos. And if you haven't yet, please consider doing so. We'd really appreciate it.
All right, take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.